All right, and once again, we are back as we are every other Sunday. This is Plunk. This is the podcast where we talk about two baseball teams from the same magnificent city, that city being Chicago, Illinois. I am one of your hosts. This is Emilio Bucks, joined by
Kristen Petite.
how you doing, Kristen?
Doing all right. How you doing, Emilio Bucks?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Had kind of an exciting last couple days of baseball.
Yeah.
But other than that, I got a little COVID-y last week.
COVID. Ugh.
A little COVID-y.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better. My taste has almost completely returned.
Mm,
Like my smell still isn't quite back. And I think that's just a combination of between the COVID and my allergies and stuff
mm.
like that. It's been a little difficult, but like I totally lost my sense of taste during
Wow. I
COVID.
did not have that.
Really, that was my, like I felt sick for a day or two,
Hmm.
but the most like startling, if you will, symptom for me was I couldn't taste anything.
Wow.
That was crazy.
So that's when you knew.
Yeah, that's when I knew. Like, oh wow, this is what this is like. Like, okay, I can't taste hot sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to smell for years. So,
Right. So I know you're kind of used to that.
yeah. But
Right.
I was able to taste. My
Really.
taste
Yeah.
is off a little bit anyway since I haven't been able to smell for years. But
Okay, I could see that, but
yeah.
it's off that you're used to it,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
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 Mm.
So, and
Well, glad
then,
you're recovering.
well, thank you. And then
Look
the
like
whole,
you lost some weight while you had COVID.
uh,
You look a little small over there.
I think you're right. Being sick and then, taking a break from the booze will deflate you just a little bit, but it's needed. It's needed. So,
Mhm.
all right. But wow, all right. I feel good. I feel like I should just end the show now. That's I end on a high note for me. Got nothing left to say. I can only make this worse.
Well, okay, you got more high notes. The Sox. I mean,
This,
hopefully Cleveland, they're tied right now on the bottom of the ninth, but hopefully Cleveland won't win and then they won't lose any ground.
you know, they are just setting me up to choke me out right in the last week of the
Right, they
season.
wanted to make sure that their Sox fans still paid attention
I
all the way to
swear
the
this team, it just drives you crazy because like a week ago it's like they're dead in the water.
yeah.
And all of a sudden they just turn it on or it comes on for a few days. It gets us all hopeful. And then, we're in the sorry division, so it's not like Cleveland or Minnesota's been able to run away with it.
No.
We struggle, but so do they.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
Cleveland was
Yeah.
hot and now they falling apart.
Now they're Clevelanding it up. You know what I mean? Like I swear, like it's really coming down to the wire. I believe, yeah, it's gonna be like this to the end. I mean,
Mhm.
because no team of the three are good enough that they can run away with it.
No,
You
no.
know, so
And one
and
team should be good enough to run away with it, but they're just
that one team should
not.
be good enough,
I
but
think
they really aren't. You know what I
no.
mean? They're on paper, yeah, they should be running away with it, but and then you see in this little small stretch of games where they've won, what has been the biggest thing is the home run ball has returned. And that means everything.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can't just small ball only small ball with your
Right.
scoring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you need those guys to get on base, but then you need You need those home runs to knock
Yeah.
those guys in. You know what I mean? And without that, like nobody's gonna want to win ball games in this league without being able to knock some runs in. I mean, you know,
No. Yeah. You get bases loaded and no one scores. Like you
a
can't
lot
even
of that
fly the
happened.
ball. Right? Like you're so weak that you can't even get it out to the outfield.
Just just bad situational hitting.
Mhm.
And I don't know what it is. Like when you see they have moments where they can hit the ball, then it's like, okay, well, where, like they just can't seem to call on it.
Mhm.
If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
they can't turn the moment into something. It has to just be the day that they hit well
Mhm.
versus them going out and hitting well and because they know they can and they go out and do it on purpose. It's like
Yep.
they just, oh, we're hot today, and then for a day and another day, and they
And then
go
the
cold.
next thing you know, it's like nothing.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because as a team they're hitting 260, which is tied for first in all of the majors with the
Mm.
Dodgers. So
But
so
then
they're
and then,
hitting the
then where
ball.
are they home runs?
Home runs, they're like 25th.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. That's a yeah, yeah, that's a problem. Because they're
That's
hitting, but they're not hitting at the right time
not hitting at the right
and
time,
not
and
getting
they're
the
not
right
hitting
types
the
of
big.
hits.
They're not getting the right types of hits.
Yeah.
You know what
Like
I mean? It's
you
just
got
so
men on first and second. They're not getting any doubles to at least drive one of those people
exactly,
in. Second
exactly,
and third, they can't even hit a fly ball.
exactly.
They can't even hit a ground ball to the
Too
right
many
place.
times when there's two men or more on, and they either can only get one run across or
Mhm.
end up getting none across.
Yeah. They definitely let pitchers get out of jams way too much.
Yes, they do. I think
And
that's
and
it.
they and it's with some of their best hitters that mess up the jams.
Yeah,
Like some of their better hitters are the rally killers.
yeah. I've seen Abreu be a rally killer many times.
Who?
Abreu
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
is is
You know who? When and I don't pay attention to full games, all the games,
uh,
but Pollock seems to kill a lot of rallies when I happen to check on my MLB app and I'll see he's up with the men on. And
really.
next thing they show me is he struck out. I'm like, I didn't know he did this so much. Now
You
maybe
know
this is
what?
all the time.
Pollock has been warm
Okay, because
recently.
whenever I check that MLB app, it's like
He's a
Pollock.
rally killer.
I was like, wait, why? Why? Like I said, I'm not gonna say he always does it, but a lot of times when I check, he's a strikeout or
He's
he gonna fly out.
like, and you may be right. It's just those situations where I'm
Mm,
sure he has killed a rally. You know what I mean? I have, and I will give a little credit to Pollock. Recently, he's had a couple of big
okay,
hits, a
that's good.
couple of big doubles. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
So it's just when I
But
randomly check, I happen to
yeah,
always check
yeah.
at
I
a bad
mean,
time. I check at a
he
bad time for him. And
maybe
is it Romy? Rami? How do you say that guy's
Romy
name?
Gonzalez.
Even though I see he does good things, my
He's a
random
rally killer.
check-ins,
He
yes,
um,
in my random check-ins, like he killed it again.
strikes out. And when he strikes out, it looks real like weak and pathetic.
Like
But he
I
hit his first
jinxed.
home run um yesterday.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Uh I guess we could talk about yesterday and that Dylan Cease performance.
Yeah, I jinxed him.
Where
Yeah, I was on the phone. And I said, there were two men out. He had a ball and a strike on the guy. I was like, oh, I said, Dylan Cease is about to have a no hitter.
yeah.
I was like, oops.
But you know who called it was AJ. AJ Przinsky was commentating,
Hmm.
and he was like, "No way I would pitch to this guy. Like I wouldn't throw anything in the strike zone to this guy right now.
Mm,
Like make him chase, or even if you walk him, like there's no way I'm pitching to this
right.
guy." And he did, and that's who got him. and AJ went silent. You could tell when the announcers in baseball, when something happens and they go like silent for a good like 20 seconds, which seems like 10 minutes on
Right,
air. You know what I
right.
mean? It's like, they're talking about something and they have their cough buttons on or whatever. Like AJ's probably over there like, I told him. I fucking told him not to pitch.
Why the hell would you pitch to them? Are they
Yeah.
stupid?
He was right though. You shouldn't have pitched to
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I was
Not
like,
that guy. The
mm-hmm.
guy who's leading, I think that he's leading the AL in batting average.
Mm.
Just over
You think
Abreu.
Cease was like, I'm gonna take this challenge because I can get him out. Have you seen my
I think
game?
so.
I can get him out.
I think so. I mean, he had sat him down 3 times already.
Mm.
So I can't remember. I don't think he walked him, but I think he did go after him, and he was
Mm.
like, "My stuff is working. I'm going to do this way."
Wow, wow.
Won't. Yeah.
But still a great performance by
Excellent
possible
performance.
Cy Young.
Yeah, and so what do you think? Do you think I think Verlander was the favorite to win the AL Cy Young, but
Mm-hmm.
I know with Verlander hurt and Cease
I think it's
performance,
Cease.
you think Cease is
Unless
moving up?
Verlander comes back. Like if
Hmm.
Verlander doesn't get to come back and have a couple more games, then I think it's Cease.
I think I'd agree with you.
Yeah, especially after yesterday, he
Yeah,
definitely would have cemented it with a no hitter.
with a no hitter.
But he got a one hitter, one bases on ball, right? Didn't he only give up one hit? Yeah,
I think he gave up 2 walks.
2 walks. Okay, so
Yeah.
2 walks, one hit against one of their rivals. I
Yeah.
think he's put himself in good position to win
You
it.
know, and if anything, I don't know, does the moment count in which you do it too? Like you're facing the division rival,
Mm-hmm.
you moved up,
Yeah, fighting for the
whatever,
division.
4 games in
Yeah,
4 days or whatever it
yeah.
was, so
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it would.
Maybe,
So,
yeah.
and especially if he's able, because like Houston's been ahead of their division all year, basically. So if they get in and Deese mixing up his name, Cease is like he has put them on their back pitching wise and drags them over to win the division, then yeah, I think he'll get it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah,
Hey Deb, our favorite plunkster,
yeah.
asked
No,
how
they're
Tony is. I don't know. They're being really,
mhm.
once again, for anybody who doesn't pay attention, Tony La Russa, the White Sox manager, on an indefinite leave of absence right now, not with the team, assuming he's resting in a hospital here in Chicago, I believe.
No, he went
Uh,
home to
uh,
his doctors, wherever his
oh, okay.
home is. Maybe in Arizona. He
Gotcha.
went to see his doctors.
And they kept him.
Yeah,
Uh,
because whatever it is, it I would assume it has to be serious for him to leave.
yeah.
But there was who was it, like Dan Bernstein has just from the score. He was just irate isn't the right word, but he was very upset with the fact that no one from the front office came and said anything about Tony La Russa. Like they left it up to the Miguel Cairo. Like they left it up to other people, and they were like, I don't know. Was it Gavin Sheets said he found out on Twitter,
Right.
or someone found out right before the game started?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in that front office.
Yeah. I mean, that's, is this some sort of unceremonious way of
Letting
his
them go.
exit?
Yeah,
That's kind of, I don't know.
yeah.
That's a weird way to do it.
It is. Because he's old, so you don't really want to like let's fake a medical emergency on someone
Yeah,
who's
that
older.
seems like
Yeah,
very, unethical to.
yes, and he's had drinking. He has been a drinker, so I'm sure he's not in the best of health.
falling asleep in the
Right.
dugout.
And maybe
It's a
that's
stressful
what
job.
and maybe that's what made them like everyone, the doctors now they're like, okay, you're like falling asleep, your energy's bad, you're looking,
Yeah,
you're starting to not like you look spectacular in the beginning, but you're looking a little worse. Like you're
yeah.
like
Maybe looking a little
aging,
ragged.
right? You're aging rapidly. Maybe that's why someone was like, you need to check you out. And then when they
Yeah.
did, they saw something.
Like, Jesus Christ, Tony, lucky to be walking.
Right? How are you walking around?
Yeah, man.
It's a stressful
You
job,
know,
and
and
it's
then it goes right past, like, we can criticize him as a manager, which I still continue to do.
mhm,
However, like, just as a person, I don't have anything against the guy, and I, definitely don't wish any
right.
illness or sickness or harm on the man. And I do hope that he recovers. I don't necessarily need him back in the dugout. You know what I mean?
He can recover at home.
Yeah, but I do want him to recover.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Like, yeah.
yeah. You don't want anyone to be unhealthy,
No, it's not that serious.
but you know, if he also doesn't need to come back until he's healthy because it is stressful, and it's even more stressful because your team was supposed to be better, and Jerry Reinsdorf thought you were the guy to get them better. He let go of the guy who had gotten them to a certain point, brought you in, and so now there's a lot of pressure on you, and you're not performing well, they're not performing well, they didn't give you players to perform as well,
Hmm.
so he doesn't need to come back until he can take it, and it may not be the rest of this year.
Yeah, because this job isn't going to get less stressful over
Mm.
the next month with this race. You know what I mean? You kind of froze up. I don't know if you froze up
So
or if I
so
froze.
that's the only update we have. There
Yeah.
nothing else to, and who knows when we're gonna get an update, because I mean it took them forever. They were very cryptic with him being gone. So,
And
and
he
it's
was
none.
down
I
on
mean,
the
it
field.
really is none of our business. But you do
True.
want to kind of know: is he gonna be all right? Is there
Yeah.
a chance he comes back? You put him on indefinite. Should we just count his season being over? What are the chances he comes back?
Well, yeah, I would count his season being over.
Mm,
Um, well, obviously, whatever it is, it's serious. Whether it's, I can't imagine they would be faking something like this as a
right.
PR thing. You know what I mean? I would never assume that. But even in the worst case scenario, they were. Well,
Hmm.
then obviously they wouldn't be
This is
bringing
it.
him back anyway. So,
Hmm.
like, and I can't imagine under what circumstances um he's going to get healthy enough
Right.
now to
Okay.
finish this thing out. You know what I mean?
Unless
So
he comes back for the playoffs.
yeah, that's see that like the worst time to
Then
come
they'll be
back.
like, all right, Tony, they're in. So he's like, all right, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get him. Yeah,
But yeah,
see,
the Sox have been playing way more inspired baseball. Uh,
and
they're
and I
also,
like seeing the scrum, the brouhaha that happened the
yeah,
other night. Like you
yeah,
like that energy. Like it's
yeah,
like finally, like act like you care. You know what I
yeah. I
mean? And
guess
I
it's
look
hard to be energized when you're losing, but
absolutely. And then at the same time, they're not even losing a ton either.
yeah.
It's not like the Cubs where it's like, oh, well, there's nothing for them to be energized about right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
your
there
team,
was a
this
problem where it looked like at one point the Sox players didn't even care.
yes,
Like it was like, do you even care that
yes,
there are these expectations?
yes.
Do you want to win?
I kind
Like,
of feel like that's what it looked like after All-Star break.
yeah, it's like, come on now, whatever is happening on the outside, whatever you think of your coaches, your manager, whatever, you're professionals. You should want to win for you. Like this should be a thing that you want to be a winner. So you shouldn't need anybody else to motivate you to play hard, to play the right way, whatever that is.
Inspired,
Yeah, like you don't. No one needs to motivate you. You're
like,
grown. You've been playing.
yeah.
You're playing for your reputation. You're playing for your city. You're playing for your fans. That should be enough.
But
And they weren't playing like they cared about any of that.
we've seen it time and time again where once there's like a negative vibe in a locker room where it really becomes infectious, and
Mm-hmm.
all those things are completely right that you just said. And we've seen it time and time again when there's a bad bug with a team, they're just almost like lost. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like there's just dead eye. And you saw a lot of that in the dugout. You're right, and it's like, yeah, have some fucking pride. Like, I
yeah.
mean,
It's.
geez,
Do
like,
you want to be considered? Do
I
you
mean, there's
like? We're
kids
not.
watching, for God's sake. At least act
What'd you
like it.
say?
I said, there's kids watching you. For,
Right. And my thing is, we're not. They're not just talking about Tony La Russa, Rick Hahn, Jerry Reinsdorf. People are on you as
yeah,
players. Like,
you
why?
guys are the faces.
You want fans to come see you. The complaint all the time: Sox fans don't come out. Sox fans don't come out. Well, why are we coming out for someone that doesn't care? I can't care more than you.
This is true.
Fans can't care more than the players. Like, you got to give, especially if you have hard fans who are going to be hard on you, and they're not going to come out if you're not putting on a good show.
This is
So
true.
if you want them to be there for you, then you have to give them a reason to come out.
And I get it. It's a long season.
But they were sleepwalking through most
They've
of
walked through most of it.
it. Right? So there's 162 games. They've been sleeping for 100. So it's
Yeah,
time to wake up.
yeah.
Like, you vacation through most of the season. So yes, it's long, but it has been long for you because you guys haven't cared.
And another disturbing stat is 34-36, which is their home record.
Mm,
They've been under 500 at home pretty much all year, or at least I believe since like May. And that's so weird
yeah.
how you're not getting it done in your own ballpark.
Yeah. Wow.
I find that strange.
You get the last step back. The fans are
Yeah,
cheering for you.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, and guarantee right is considered, a hitter's park.
Yeah.
Like, and so
Isn't that
everybody else hits there except us.
right? Isn't that's another thing that baffles people, right? Like, wait,
Hmm.
how are you not hitting? How come you were hitting home runs last year? Like, what is the all I know is Major League Baseball, get these balls in order.
Or
I don't know why
whatever you
Aaron
thank you.
Judge gets all the balls that'll go out, but it's
He's
time to
getting
spread the wealth.
he getting all the balls.
Right? And now all of a sudden, Albert Pujols can't miss.
He's getting all the balls now
Man, I
in the
like when
crucial moments,
are the umps thrown out like, oh, we need some home runs. Like,
like
I
just
need
a
you to
white
share that
tennis
wealth with
ball.
us.
Like here,
It says AP and AJ on the balls. Like
right.
these, but yeah, it's
The,
like all of a
the
sudden,
the more bounce to the ounce specials. Like this.
yeah, they are. Because I don't know why. I know Aaron Judge is a home run hitter, but there are so many White Sox players that are home run hitters and aren't hitting.
Are hitting, including
Uh,
Abreu and
like,
Luis Robert.
yeah, they should at least be in the 20s,
At least
right?
be in the 20s.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, and no one, the Cubs really, but Ian Happ used to hit more home runs than he's doing now.
Huh.
Um,
But
but
he's
yeah,
hitting
what Aaron,
overall better. Would you say?
what'd you say?
Would you say he's hitting overall better now? Ian Happ.
Yeah,
Hmm. So
but yeah, he is, but somebody's got to hit some home runs on this team. I
yeah,
mean, you have Patrick Wisdom, but he is really home run or nothing.
yeah, and there'd be more nothing than the home runs.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. But yeah, I think Aaron Judge is what at 53 or something. So
yeah, that's insane.
and what I don't even know what the next person is, but it's not close to 53. Is
So
anyone even
what you
at
think about
20 on
Aaron?
the Sox? What'd you say?
What do you think about Aaron?
Well,
I mean, out,
I
man.
don't I don't know if he's
Come on, man.
doing
I
that,
know.
or I don't know if he's doing that, or there's just something with the balls that he gets. I don't know. I don't understand how all of a sudden Albert Pujols has been able to turn it on as they push for him to get to 700 this year.
They sure are pushing for him to get to 700.
Yes, that is like their goal, because in Major League Baseball's mind, whether it's true or not, they think he's clean. So if he can get to Barry Bonds or surpass him, now we'll have a clean
Now
baseball.
we can celebrate the home run king.
Yes, because he's clean for what they know. How do we know he's actually? Yeah, he was going to sue someone for defamation. Where's that lawsuit?
Mm-hmm.
Because someone's claimed that he probably did. We don't know. I'm not going to say he did, but I'm also not going to say he didn't. I don't know.
You never know.
But
I mean,
I
a
don't
lot of guys
understand. Right.
swore up and down they didn't know nothing, and then you found out they did.
Exactly. Small guys, big guys, guys who hit a lot of home runs, guys who didn't even hit a lot of home runs. You like, so why did you even take it?
Yeah.
It did nothing. So you just can't hit because it did nothing for you.
Or it was just enough to keep them on a team or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so Mets versus Cubs 9-12. Yep. So that's a sweep for the Mets, eh? Hey, Dad, what about Scherzer? Ugh. I don't know. They wonder how serious that is, that injury.
Yeah.
You guys have buzzard luck with your pitchers. But yeah, I don't know.
Braves are on the tail of the Mets right
Again,
now. By one game, I think now.
Hey, it's yeah.
So I mean, so we have an official, race in the NL East. You know what I mean? Like we have in the AL Central.
Yeah. That, and then not likely they are crumbling. But have you seen?
I think the wild card is poised to still come out of the NL East, though. So
yeah. Let's see. Yep, because Atlanta. So either it'll be Atlanta or the Mets, and then Phillies are there too. They are. Yeah, so they'll have three.
yeah.
But yes, your Mets may be crumbling, but all the slump buster team is the Cubs. Any team that needs to come up, just wait for the Cubs on your schedule.
St. Louis.
Cardinals just swept the Cubs.
St. Louis came in. Well, no, the Cubs were in St. Louis.
Yeah, and it was a pretty easy sweep. But your Mets will be okay. If at the most the Cubs may win one of the games. So
I will say the Cubs were a pick me up for the White Sox earlier in the season.
Yeah, that's what they are for most people.
That's what they're. However, look on the bright side. They're in third, and not fourth or fifth. Small victory.
And there's only 17 games out of the wild card.
Right.
I'm not. How are they not even eliminated yet? Well, okay. They'll be eliminated in a week. How many games are left in the season? They're at, what is that?
They're at 56 and 78.
So that's 144. 134.
Not asking you to do that kind of math.
It's 134.
Okay.
So there's only 28 games,
and they're 23 games back out of
the
for the division.
My God, they're only 2 games ahead of the Reds. 23 games back.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for the Cubs, and like, hey, I don't like it. I don't like that they stink. I don't like that. We are blessed to have 2 baseball teams, and it sucks when one or both of them are bad because it's like it's boring to watch.
We've set ourselves up for. I can't even talk about them. They disgust me, and I think we talked about this last time about I'm still disgusted with Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols getting a ceremony before they even give Sammy Sosa one. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here, Cubs. Sorry, they're just disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I'm still a Cubs fan because I guess I just like to be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, to be a Chicago sports fan is to
It's
be a
just
disappointed
to be
individual.
heartbroken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awful, and they're gonna remain awful. And I know David Ross isn't good really, but I mean, it is hard to judge him
Because he
because he did
doesn't have much
okay at
to work with. He
first.
did go to the playoffs his first year.
Yeah, when
But
they were
with his
good.
old horses, though, of course.
Yeah, but and then with those same horses, he couldn't do anything after that.
That's true.
So, and he makes questionable decisions all the time, but they're so terrible, and he's likable that no one pays attention to him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves him because he has a radio. He does a radio show. He's a nice guy, it seems like, and the
Mm-hmm.
Cubs are awful. So no one really pays attention to him, whether or not he's a good coach.
So he's the right guy for this job right now, then.
Yeah, with the garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they have somebody who's likable. You're not going to blame him too
right.
tough for the
That's true.
fact that they just don't have the horses to win games. You know what I mean?
And then when people talk about, oh, the Cubs have such a hard decision to make with Nico Horner playing well, Nico Horner will move. There's no hard decision to make. If Carlos Correa becomes available, Trey Turner, if another shortstop becomes available, there's no hard decision.
Nico can play second. I
Yeah,
don't know
Nico
why it's
Horner
that
moves
hard.
over. Yeah.
Why is it that hard?
People are like, oh, wow, they're going to have a tough decision. Not at
Not
all.
really.
I know Nico's been playing well, but he'll move.
He'll move. And he still get that bat in the lineup
Exactly.
every day.
And defense.
What's the problem?
Yeah, people are just crazy. It's
Talk crazy.
like there's any untouchables, unmovables on this team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or any team, really. The Yanks and both fading. The Yanks and Mets.
What is it? The third largest market and the largest, or the Big Apple and the Windy City?
Yeah.
The Yankees, everyone thought they were just going to run away with it, and they have crumbled.
They peaked too early. They were too good. They were clowning too hard. It's like the whole BABIP thing that Tim used to tell us about.
Oh, yeah.
Like if we looked at their BABIP score early, based on how hot they were, the numbers would have said, well, this is going to turn and get shitty at some point because it can't sustain and be this good.
To get to where they really are supposed to be, you're right. There has to be in the gutter type of
to even it out.
Yes.
And sure enough, that's what we've seen.
And then Boone, he keeps getting kicked out of games. I guess he's trying to fire them up. It ain't working.
He's losing his mind right now. Because he knows he's losing his job, probably. You know what I mean?
That's true. Because this type of collapse.
And then he's all snarky in the press conferences now. He's losing it.
Because he was like the king of the hill. And in the meantime, Houston has stayed. They're 10 and while Seattle is hot, they're still 10 and a half out.
Right. And Seattle is not, I don't think they're going to overcome. I think Tampa will probably be looking like they'll take the wild card spot. Who knows? But and the Dodgers are just staying nice and steady. I think there's something like 10 or 11 ahead still.
Ooh, sorry, I'm
of San Diego.
Recover.
I figure I was like, I hope she comes back. She'd be all right.
Who's ahead? I'm sorry.
I was talking about the Dodgers. The Dodgers.
They're 18 up.
Oh, 18 up. Over San Diego?
Yep.
Okay. Frank, you heard King of the Hill?
Yeah.
The Yankees were the King of the Hill. They were the Kings of the Hill, and now they're yeah.
At one point they were talking about, who would get home field? Would it be them or Houston? Houston 6 games up on them for the lead in the AL.
Yeah. I just feel like Houston is that team in the AL still. Um, you
It is
know,
amazing that they keep doing what they're doing.
yeah. They move guys out. They haven't missed a beat since Correa left.
Yep. So
So
speaking of that, let's go back to the Cardinals. I'm gonna need the Cubs and even the White Sox to poach somebody out of that front office, that scouting, because they continue to be they're competitive all the time
all
with no names, some names.
time
Like, how is this possible?
they scout like amazing.
And they don't even have to spend a lot of money. I mean, they have some high price players right now, but they can still keep winning.
They
They
are an exceptionally run sports organization,
they are
the likes of that nobody in Chicago has ever known.
very true.
We have never had an exceptionally run sports organization. I know we had the 90s Bulls, but we had Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like that is a one and a that does
They
almost
made
doesn't
the
even count.
organization made some good picks to get Jordan, Pippen,
Yeah.
Horace Grant, and then they filled in with people, but
But nobody knew Jordan was going to be what
right.
Jordan was. I
That's
mean,
true. That's true.
like it
The
almost
greatest ever.
doesn't count because they have been a shit organization before Michael Jordan and since Michael Jordan. So,
Yeah, their decision making still is bad.
and then it's
And
no surprise the same guy that owns them obviously owns the White Sox, also a poorly run sports organization.
then there are some people who just love Theo Epstein so much, and I thank Theo Epstein for finally getting me a
Absolutely.
championship. I thank him for that. But you also saw that the moves that were being made was not going to sustain the success because
Now,
there
what do
weren't
you
moves
think
made.
happened in Boston? Now, he left Boston.
And then they went bad, and then they got good again.
Then they got so what did they do? How did they recover? So I don't know. It seemed like they recovered fairly quickly.
They must have hired when he left, because I think what happens, because you have to trade to get stuff. So I understand
Mhm.
that. So you have to give away some of your best talent. And I don't know how deep the Cubs farm system was when Theo got here and started giving away. Excuse me. Okay, because he had to trade Eloy, Dylan Cease, the guy who's with the Yankees, so that you can get a Aroldis Chapman. I
Yeah.
mean, it
Um,
was, and then Jose Quintana. Okay, but
right.
so you gave away some of your top prospects,
I don't
but
remember
that
that
may
guy's
have
name.
been it, huh?
It's the guy that's in New York. I forget his name.
Um, Gleiber
Blake
Torres,
Gleiber. What is it?
Torres, I think.
Glaber Torres. Yeah.
Glaber Torres, yeah, there we
Glaber Torres. Yeah.
go. So, and then he sometimes hit and miss with the Yankees now, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could,
Yeah.
I guess the Cubs could have used him.
I mean, it'd be nice to have him now,
Yeah,
but
it'd definitely
it
be
was
nice to
worth
have
it.
Dylan Cease.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Now that.
That's the and we got Jose Quintana, but okay.
That
So
was
it's moves like that. Like, okay, yeah, you have to trade people to get people, but Jose Quintana and what you thought Dylan Cease was gonna be, that's not. And Eloy, didn't they have to give up two? Like
yeah, they gave up Eloy too.
that seemed the same to you. That seemed like that was gonna be the
It
thing. That,
didn't, and because Jose Quintana, like as a Sox fan, I had been watching him for some years now, and I was like, really? They gave up that much for him? Like
yeah,
he's
and
not
it's
a
like
difference maker.
no,
Like
it's not.
I was like, he's not going to be a guy that's now
No,
going to get the Cubs back in the World
yeah.
Series again. Like you just
So
got a number 4 pitcher.
yep.
That's all he was. 3, maybe a number 4 guy. Like
Yeah, it was, and then that's when, and so now they have Jed Hoyer, and the Cubs are crying poor. I don't think Boston ever cried poor after Theo, and so they probably have the right people there to rebuild things.
that's true. Don't
Um,
cry poor.
yeah, so they had the top 10 minor league system. The Cubs straight up when they were fading, they had the worst minor. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying, Frank. I don't even know how good of a farm system they had when they traded. They're probably their best three. Now, I
Mhm.
don't regret the trade for Aroldis Chapman because they do not win the World Series without him.
Without all the chat.
I regret. I I never liked the Jose Quintana trade from the very beginning. No one understands that. I don't care how much Cubs, other fans, and Theo and Jed Hoyer try to explain it away. That was a terrible move.
Mm-hmm. It
So
seemed bad at the time.
yeah,
It seemed not good at the time, and then it turned out to be like terrible.
right. It seemed like yeah, the Sox fleeced the Cubs. So it was like, okay, maybe you can have Eloy for him
Mm-hmm.
and a different type of pitcher, but you had no other pitchers coming up in your farm system. None. Who do we like right now? We have Justin Steele. Maybe he'll be okay. Keegan Thompson. Oh, you hope he'll be okay next year. But
What do
there
you
was
think
no
of
one,
Wade Miley?
huh?
What do you think of Wade Miley?
I mean, he can't even stay healthy.
Yeah,
He's on his way back again. Just sit down.
season's
Just
over.
right. Season is over. Get yourself rest well for next year.
Get
I don't
your
even.
kid.
I think he only got a 1 year here. I don't know. I can't remember. Like I said, I'm so disgusted with him.
Right.
But if he only had a 1 year deal here, just get yourself healthy and get signed someplace else, if not back here. But why go back out? You're injury prone this year. Why go back out? We know what you can do. Go sit down.
Think he's auditioning for another team, maybe?
Probably, but just show them old tapes. Go sit down before you hurt yourself even worse. And
Right.
now nobody wants you because you're hurt for the fourth time this year. And it's not like you're not Max Scherzer, you're not even Marcus Stroman. Where okay, you get hurt 3 times, but I know how good you can be when you're well, so I'm gonna take a chance on
Take a
your
risk.
health. I'm not gonna take a chance on you, Wade Miley. You're gonna get signed at the end of spring training for another 1 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So just sit home, strengthen yourself up. But anyway, sorry.
So
Just
what's next for the Cubs? I think they have a.
trash, garbage, losing.
I just I just meant more on the short term.
Oh, sir.
Who they play? Well, yeah, maybe some
Uh,
losing. Six
who
game homestand coming up.
who do they play?
They
Oh,
got
that's the
a
White Sox.
Cincinnati.
And
They can
then
win some games. And San Francisco coming into town.
they'll lose. So they have 6 games. Oh, and they're in New York, Deb. Okay, Deb, you're gonna win. So they have 6 games at home. Cincinnati, San Francisco. They will win 2 of those games.
You call them two? Yeah, I would say two.
They always have trouble against Cincinnati, even when they were good.
Yeah, those interdivision matchups are always. Well, look how bad the Sox struggle with Kansas City this year.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And Colorado's coming here, but unfortunately, we won't see Chris Bryant.
Is Chris hurt
Then,
again?
yeah, he has plantar. Well, he may be coming back. He got a PRP injection for his plantar fasciitis.
Ah, he's got the old plantar.
That is no joke. I'm not an athlete. You've had it too, right?
I have had it absolutely.
And
I know
it
that's
comes
no
back.
joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll go away, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I can see athletes cannot play on that.
yeah. My God, I was wearing this giant boot at night to stretch my foot out. It was almost like I had a cast on my foot at night. It
Yeah,
was ridiculous.
yeah, that is no fun.
Yeah.
And I think it was C.J. Watson who had it, and a couple other people said you almost rather tear it so that they can repair it because you really can't fix it. You just try to work with it and
Mhm.
hope that it goes away for a little while, but it'll come back at any moment.
Right. Flare up.
Yes. So yeah, I just see a lot of losing in the Cubs' future.
Definitely in the next month. Hopefully not next year, but probably.
Unless they have me go out and sell them to some free agents.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, in this wonderful game of baseball. But
Yep.
this is Chicago and we know how they do. Coming up next for the White Sox is they are hitting the road. I think not
Oh, ooh, going to play tough Seattle.
going to play Seattle for I think four,
Let's see here. 3.
3.
Monday through Wednesday. Then Oakland for 4.
Who always plays is tough, especially in Oakland. So nothing is a gimme. I mean, we know that anyways with this team, but like they still have to play San Diego in a few weeks. So in San Diego. So
Yeah, that's what. Is that a makeup game? No, it's not. Sorry.
no.
It just stopped at September 30th.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's just a makeup? Okay. And then they finished the season at home versus the Twins.
And that could be the championship, the AL Central championship
Yeah,
series,
that could
if
be.
there is one. It could very well come down to that last series.
Where they can't, oh, wow. And like, especially if it's one of those where they can't lose one of the games.
Right.
That's going to be a, oof, that's going to
So
be a,
that's what I feel like they just got us by the throat. Like they
yeah.
won't let it go. They won't just fade into that good night. But they're not good enough to go out and take control of this
Well,
rather pathetic division.
oh, and all the Twins games are rescheduled. Oh, because of the season starting late. That's right.
It's tough.
Well,
And I think Cleveland's got some tough games still left on
let's
their
see.
schedule too.
Let's go to Cleveland. Cleveland, they
Cleveland,
are.
Seattle is taking control of the game in Cleveland. They're
Oh
up
yeah,
six
see,
to
six to
three.
three.
That's good news.
So then they start. They'll have 3 at Kansas City. Then they have 3 at the Twins. Then they come home and they have the Angels and the Sox for 1 game, a makeup game. And then the Twins for 5. I think something's from rescheduled. Then they go to the Sox at Texas. Tampa Bay will be tough. Kansas City.
You might argue that Cleveland has the easier schedule
Mm-hmm.
down the down
Their
the stretch here.
their toughest game seemed like it'll be the Sox
Tampa,
and Tampa.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess
and
maybe.
it's Cleveland, so they
Yeah.
could all be tough.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Cleveland definitely is falling apart in extra innings. So
Cleveland
that's
ended it
good
up.
news. That's good
Well,
news for Sox fans. You didn't
that
lose
is
any
good
ground.
news. That is good news. Well,
Glad somebody has good news in this city.
I wouldn't call this good news like that. It's not really good news. We're only 3 back or 2 back, whatever. It's like,
Well, considering you thought most Sox fans thought it was over, because weren't they like 6 games back at one point?
we dropped 6 back just a few
And
days
I think
ago.
you, how far? And they had gotten like as close as 1 game or half a game when they then dropped back, right?
Yeah, they got as close as I think 1 game, and then end up 6 back, and
Like
then
real
picked up
quick.
4 in 4 days, and this is where we are now. So it's just more pain, more wretchedness for the remainder. And I've watched far too much to like let it go. Like I have to keep watching and torturing
Of
myself.
course.
Yeah.
Got a little baseball FOMO.
Yeah. So I'm just enjoying the
And
ride.
you can always say you were that fan that kept watching, like when everyone else jumps back on that bandwagon.
I guess so. But I think there's quite a few of us.
Yeah, yeah, because there's a lot of angst out there in social media from Sox fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resignation from Cubs fans, and like disgust and
And
betrayal.
lot lot of betrayal. Every time this motherfucker team gives us hope, they immediately just
Immediately.
shit the bed right when we're yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they sure do.
yeah, they do.
Lose 5 straight.
And then they lose the five straight to someone that you just knew was going to be the team that they would be
Arizona.
all right.
Just pathetic.
Yeah, that Arizona sweep.
That was hurtful. That
That's
was
you
brutal.
almost thought that was rock bottom.
That was during when it was like, all right, we're dead.
Yeah,
It's over. We're dead.
and it's like, oh, you guys just don't care, huh? You let Arizona come in here and sweep you. Arizona.
Arizona. Sure
What's
did.
their record? Arizona. Oh, they're only 5 games under 500.
You got to remember these teams that are bottom feeders in other divisions or
Yeah, because they do only have
would be,
yeah.
first and second place teams in this division.
They only have 3 more losses than the Sox. So
Yeah, so
I guess
I mean, it's still pathetic that they got
yeah,
swept.
it is because still on paper and although I guess it was just all over. I don't know. On paper, they were supposed to just murderize the Diamondbacks,
Yeah.
but you don't play the game on paper.
We don't play it on paper. They play it on the field. Kristen making the right call. Go Bears. All right. So, yeah. So, we got some Bear football coming up on September 11th. At San Francisco, is that correct?
Let's see. Chicago Bears.
I know it's San Francisco. I just didn't know if
They're here, I think.
they're here or in. Okay, they're here. Okay.
Yep. So I think the Bears are going to shock a lot of people. I don't think they're going to go to the playoffs, but I don't think they're, for me personally, I'm starting to feel they won't be as bad as I thought they were going to be. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be good. I'm not saying that at all.
I hear you.
But I don't think they'll be as bad, and watch them be as bad, if not worse. But I'm thinking that they may not be as bad as I thought they were going to be.
So, what are you calling the seasons? Because I'm thinking they surprise us with an 8-8 season.
Well, I had to be. Don't they have 17 games
Is
now?
it 17? All right, so
Yeah.
then definitely 8 and
I
9 then.
I got 9 and 8.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I'm usually
you are an optimist.
as Sammy said. I'm optimistic, but
Optimistic.
and I will probably be very wrong as I have been every season for a while.
Well,
I do think that while the defense has looked good in the preseason, I don't think they'll be bad against San Francisco because I have no idea what Trey Lance is.
right.
If you hear talk about him, it doesn't sound like we wonder, is he ready to be the man?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. But I do worry about the offense versus a very good San Francisco defense.
Absolutely. And once again, this shit show of an offensive line. Again.
Get it right.
Cannot get this right.
They refuse. If you ask Olin Kreutz, the problem is they still refuse to put enough quality money. And I forgot the name of the guy that they got that was terrible everywhere. But if you listen to Olin Kreutz, and he does know what he's talking about, sometimes you still got to give an offensive lineman a chance. They don't all get it right away. So I think it's Alex something. I know it's not
Is he
Leatherwood,
the
but
guy that they got from the Raiders?
yeah, Leatherwood keeps coming in my mind. I don't think that's what his name is.
Okay.
But he was supposed to be like everyone said, oh, they got him. He's horrible. But sometimes you need to give people more chances. Are they keeping Tevin Jenkins? Are they still considering trading him? I think they need to keep him. I think he needs to be a starting lineman. But I think Justin will be running for his life a lot. Dang, Mustapher, man, that's cold blooded, Frank.
Unemployment line. Send him.
Well, is he a starter? I know he hasn't been starting though, right? I don't think so. Yeah.
Not if we got him. He's definitely somebody's trash. If we got
but wasn't he also good sometimes? That's Ola's guy right there, Sam Mustapher. Yeah. So what do you think?
Well, I will admit I have watched very little preseason football. I hate preseason football. Yeah. In fact, it's just so unrealistic. I don't know what's worse, preseason baseball. Like I get excited for preseason baseball just because spring is coming and summer's coming. But I don't even know I'm excited NFL is returning. Like the preseason just does not do it for me. And so I can't sit here and say I'm the most knowledgeable about this current roster of players. I know all of the major players. I've heard a lot about this coaching staff and about how this coaching staff with Eberflus and Getsy, how they have created an offense based on the players they have, which sounds amazing.
It's like we don't even know how to handle that in Chicago after the past.
That sounds groundbreaking for a Bears fan.
So Frank clearly does not like. He says Mustapher gets thrown around like a rag doll.
Right. Like watching Cohen right up the middle. That was some of the worst shit ever. Watching Cohen try to run in between tackles. It was like, dude, why?
Especially when you don't have a line that opens up many holes.
Right. It was just sending him to his death.
To the death. I don't know why this show's making me
joke. That's not how he got hurt,
This show keeps choking me up.
Yeah. How the coaching staff is common sense. Yeah, like I mean, and this is just going by from what I've reading and hearing is about a staff who is, what does Stacey King say? KYP. Know your personnel.
Yes.
And they're creating based on their personnel.
And they saw a flaw in Justin Fields and they're fixing it. But the greatest thing, like you mentioned, they see the player, they know what the player's good at, and that's what they're going to do.
And they're going to like play up to Justin's strengths. And design an offense that plays to his strength.
That's how
that just sounds brilliant to me. And I look forward to what that looks like, because I feel like it's been so long for us and watching Nagy and crew.
We had 4 quarterbacks in the past 2 years say this exact same thing about the last coach.
Yeah.
4 rookies to very much so veterans, Super Bowl winners. This offense isn't working. I've been begging to do this. This isn't what I really do. I'd like to use my strengths. Like, people are begging for this. Now Justin doesn't have to beg.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what this what this is going to look like, and
Yeah,
I think on paper, I think it's a thing like on paper they don't look good. You know
no,
what I mean? But I think I agree with you in that I think they will surprise some people. Um,
not being awful.
Not being awful and getting that eighth or even that ninth win. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't see a playoff team. Just from what I
Yeah,
know, from what I saw
yeah,
last year and
right.
who's coming back, and
I don't see
like
it.
I don't think we're going to the playoffs. I think as long as Aaron Rodgers is walking, he's going to own this
Boom.
division. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Um, and watching some of the preseason, Detroit's defense has really improved.
really,
I don't know what their offense is going to look like, but their defenses, they'll get after. If you have a questionable line, they are definitely now able to get after you. So watching
preseason
those Fields
football,
going through
watching the
read,
little
keep
things.
I move wideouts route. I I like how it's looking under Matt Crabby. We're seeing preseason and tackling abilities. They are definitely way more disciplined. Um,
Which I always point to coaching when it comes
yeah,
to in any sport. I always
yeah,
say that's coaching,
yeah.
discipline.
So they're more disciplined, um, and if they're making penalties, they're not the same stupid ones they used to make. Uh, it's nice to have. We have a motivated Roquan again because he's fighting for a contract somewhere.
Right.
So he'll be motivated to play well. Um, Eddie Jackson has a lot to prove, and I think Frank said this one a long time ago on Facebook. Like he needs to just stop talking and just
Hmm.
play. Like
Hmm.
because every year you've told us, "Oh, this defense now I'm free," and then you're not. You're bad. So just
And
stop
still can't
talking.
tackle.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So we've accepted you're not going to tackle, but you need to at least start getting some interceptions again.
You damn well better.
Yeah, because but he just needs to just show. His is actions. No more words because you say the same
No
thing
more
every
cereal.
year. Right. What are they? Edios?
Yeah.
Don't need those. No talking. Just go perform.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah. He
you
was
got.
feeling himself.
Yeah.
He was kind of smelling himself
Yeah.
earlier, so
So,
he got caught up in the wind, I think. So,
yep.
you know,
But it should be interesting. So we got football starting next weekend. We got the Sox in a pennant. I mean, not a pennant. Well, they're in a division race.
hmm
And then yeah,
and let's before we close it off, quick, quick.
those Eddies taste like crap, just like his
Did
name.
you really
You
have
actually
some
tried
Eddie Rose Frank?
them? Did someone dare you to try those, Frank? Somebody must have. They make you do that on the show.
Uh,
Ah.
so one of some final words out of the Bulls camp is that it's looking like Lonzo Ball will not be ready for training camp, will not be ready for the start of the season. Um, I think. Do you still have Derrick Rose's phone number, Kristen? Can we get that to?
Let me text Pooh right now.
Can
Text
we get
Pooh.
Pooh on the line?
You know what? I need to go get Tibbs' number because Tibbs is the one who's really not willing to let him go. So I need to text Tibbs. Like you got help us out, Tibbs.
Yeah, Derrick has done
I'm gonna get
all
on
he
that.
needs to do there. Now let him come here and help
Yeah.
this team.
And he wants to eventually come home too.
He
So
totally does. He totally does. And I
yeah,
want him to come back while he still can really like
exactly.
play.
Instead of
You know
I don't want him to come back just to sit on the bench and never get in the game.
exactly. Oh, well,
Unless
he's good for the young guys. I mean, I want him to be good for the young guys and still
yeah.
produce. And I think he would be, um, you know, an ideal candidate to fill in some of that missing Lonzo Ball
Hmm.
minutes. That who knows what's going to happen.
Like
You know,
even if because like okay now Io will move into the starting. because you still don't want Derek to start. He doesn't need to play a lot of minutes.
No, exactly.
So Io would start, and now you have someone, because right now you also don't have scoring coming off your bench.
Right.
Um,
And I think D Rose could provide a little scoring.
yes.
With
And
that
then
back.
you put him in, and then when he gets to play in the game with Vooch, he does well with a big guy. Kind of like Io does well with Vooch. Io and Vooch play very well together. When they allow Io and Vooch to play well together.
Good point.
Yeah, when they don't allow that, then they don't play well together.
Gotcha.
One thing that frustrated me, even when Lonzo Ball was well, in the fourth quarter, why are Zach or DeMar bringing up the ball? You have a bona fide point guard sitting in the corner waiting for a ball. And you have two ball, they can handle the ball to drive to the basket, but they're not decision makers like Lonzo Ball.
That was the point of having the very knowledgeable point guard.
Especially at the game on the line.
To set it up for those guys. Yeah, you did see way too much just one-on-one ball down. It's like, okay, well, it's my turn. All right, your turn to go. All right, my turn. It's kind of like, wait, where's the flow? Where's the offense? Where's the ball movement? And find him when he's open versus just like this ISO and them taking turns with ISO, which you saw a lot of.
They can't do that again because teams know they're going to do that, and they were able to stop that in the playoffs. And so now they know the secret of stopping DeMar, and so they'll continue to do it. The Bulls were really focusing on getting Lonzo Ball. That was like getting a player in, a trade or whatever. And now that's not happening, and every other team started getting better, like the Cavs. Even the Knicks got better. Atlanta got better. And, the Bulls signed Zach, which they had to do. And I like keeping Vooch, but now, you missed out on maybe some other point guards because you thought all this time, even though all the signs were there, that Lonzo probably wasn't going to be ready. So
what do you think about Rajon Rondo? Isn't he still a free agent?
I don't even know. People just don't like him though.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if he would. But and then he can't score. They also need somebody. Somebody has to.
Yeah, they do need somebody who can hit some shots. So they need Lonzo Ball back.
Basically,
they need somebody like Lonzo Ball.
They also need him for his defense because he helps with Vooch.
Yeah, that's also what was huge. They were so pointed on defense when he was on the floor, and between him and Caruso, I'm getting excited about basketball now that we're talking about it. Actually,
yeah, I want to see.
Yeah,
it's very disappointing that we won't get to see them full again. Like we just cannot see this team together.
Was it 16 games last year that they were all together?
And so we're still wondering what they'll be if all of them play. Like, okay, is this the year that Patrick Williams, who they held on to?
Oh, don't get me started on the Patrick Williams.
they refuse to give him up.
People just want him to be good so bad, and I swear I hope he's as good as people want him to be. But I don't understand what people have seen that why they are holding on and are so pro Patrick Williams. Like
I don't
barely see anything more than I saw in Wendell. But hey, I don't know. Should prove me wrong, Mr. Williams.
Yeah. I mean, if he can stay on the court, but he also has to I don't know if he's going to be a starter. I'm assuming he will be, but he has to also demand that ball, and I think that's something Vooch is going to have to do too. Like the only person who can usually stop Vooch is Vooch.
Yeah.
When he has that ball down low, and it opens it up for everybody. And Patrick Williams, when they throw you the ball, you just need to make a move. Like he has to get more selfish.
He just doesn't have that in him. He doesn't have that aggression.
Like he had it in that one game against the Timberwolves.
Right. Like he doesn't, like when he gets the ball, he's not like, okay, I got the rock. ball, like
Yeah.
make a move. Like, no, he gets the ball and it's like uncertainty. Who do I pass to? It's like, oh, it
And he
drives me
can handle,
crazy.
and he can handle, he can dribble. And then he was like in the playoffs, stop shooting threes. Like I
Yeah,
also need
that's
them to
the cop out.
understand.
That's the cop
Yes,
out. Is like the three because I mean, and they're giving it to him, of course.
because
You
he
know what I
was
mean? So like, no, get that ball down low. Use your size. Get the
dunk
ball,
on
make a move,
people.
and be sure and make a move. Even if you miss,
Yeah.
at least threaten to make a good move so they
Yes.
at least so their defense knows that okay, he can make a move.
So
Even if
now
you
they're gonna
miss.
come out at you, and
Yeah.
now you can make your move.
But he's just so like
He's too timid. Like I
he's just so
he
timid.
what are they? You know, everyone talks
Most
about like
important piece
they.
this off season.
But I feel if you have both Levine and DeRozan, Pat will develop because he isn't aggressive. That's what we're saying. He's
Yeah.
gonna have to. He's gonna have to get that dog that they keep talking about. Everyone has that dog in him. He's gonna have to get that, and it's up to him to do it.
Not everybody has that dog, and usually if you
Yeah,
don't have it, you can't.
and on this team, you're gonna have to because, like we keep saying, DeMar and Zach will. DeMar is more of a black hole than Zach, but
Mm-hmm.
they can be black holes, especially if they're
Sure.
on, and even when they're not even on, they're gonna like try to get themselves on.
They're gonna get their shots.
Yeah.
They
So
come from the Kobe school of
yes,
basketball. Like
indeed.
they're like if they're not on, they're gonna
Yeah, I'm
keep
gonna keep
pounding
shooting
it
till I get them.
till they get their luck return.
But yeah, so when you get the ball, unless you just don't have like your double, triple team, whatever, you have to give it up. But drive, stop shooting threes. You eventually, after you have made a few at the basket, then you can move back out
Right.
because
But
threes are long rebounds, and now they're scoring in transition.
that is not even what we have you here for.
No,
We don't
no,
even have you here to be shooting out there.
no.
So stop it.
Please stop. And you know that first year they were like calling him what the paw or whatever or the claw, whatever the level below Kawhi Leonard,
Below
right?
Kawhi.
Yeah, so whatever the level below they were calling him. Then he lost that. Like, okay, you're not even playing defense either. Like, you got to give us something, something. That's one of the reasons they put you down there with Vooch because we know Vooch isn't playing. He's
You're
going to
supposed to be
play
the dirty one.
whatever he can do.
Right.
But you're the defender. Zach and DeMar aren't good defenders. They can be better when they try, but
Mm-hmm.
they're saving their energy for the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Vooch can't jump, so he's just a big body, and he's probably going to foul. So now that they don't have Lonzo, you're the man, Patrick. That's why they used to put you on everyone, the toughest people to defend. And the first year you did well, and now, so we'll see. I agree with you. Like I there were some trades I was like, nah, don't give up Patrick Williams for that.
Sure.
But like this is it. Like we can't do any more next year's. Oh, he'll maybe next year, maybe next year. No, this
No.
is it.
This is it.
This is it. If you don't, I'm sorry if you get hurt again. That's sorry.
And you're gonna know by 10 games in
Yeah.
what you got.
Yeah. This is
You're
it.
gonna know by 10 games in, you're gonna know like, all right, he's turned the corner,
Yes.
or nope.
Like he's still
Dude.
too shy. Like he trained with DeMar. So get a little bit that
heard
dog
that,
with from DeMar.
I'm hearing it all. He's chirping it up with the rookie during summer league, and like
So let's see.
the rookie coming in calling you out. He coming to take your spot. And
Yeah,
so
what's his name? Dalen or something? Terry?
something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that. Daywan.
Yeah, but it is. This is your show it year.
Yeah.
Prove it year. You get no more next year's.
Yeah, he got away with it last year because he was hurt. You know,
and then the year before he got hurt.
He got hurt.
And these aren't like the last year he was hurt on a flagrant foul. You know, you got a flagrant foul, did whatever, your hand, whatever you did. Okay. But they can't keep hanging on to you. But then now the problem is going to be if he's bad, now his trade value is.
Yeah. I mean, because this offseason was the time to get some from. I thought that was the whole point of everybody gassing this up about him, was to use him as a trade bait.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was. I think all of the publicity put out about him, like, yeah, he's doing this and this, was to make him an
Yeah,
attractive trade piece. But then they end up not trading him. And,
because
you
he was the
know,
most attractive piece. Like Vooch, people wanted him, but they wanted him with Patrick Williams.
right,
Nobody just wanted Vooch.
right.
You weren't trading DeMar. You were trying to sign Zach. Nobody wants Alonzo because they all knew he wasn't coming back. And Caruso isn't a big trade,
Right.
chip.
You're better off keeping Caruso,
Yeah. So Patrick Williams was your trade chip
who luckily Ryan Pace isn't in NBA.
because he would have traded the team and the rights. Yeah, they wanted
Gave up
too
everybody
much.
for Gobert.
Yeah, they wanted too much for Gobert. And in the playoffs, teams have found a way to work around Gobert. Now, Gobert still did well, but if you put a smaller guy down there, so now he had to come out to guard that smaller guy, well, now you eliminate his blocking ability.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone has to guard this good guy, the 6'7" guy who's now out here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We got some. Look, as a Sox fan, you still at least have the Sox are exciting. You got the Bulls coming. You got the Bears coming. So you have three things. I just have two. I mean, I want the Sox to do well, but as far as I'm the Cubs fan on this show,
I got nothing. Don't worry. What if I told you we both have nothing? Will that be better?
Okay.
That make it even, at least?
There we go. I feel better.
All right.
We're in the same boat.
There we go. And with that,
I was about to say, and on that note.
And on that note, well, my friends, the time has come. Well, good show, Kristen. Yes. I appreciate your candor and your humor.
You know what time of year it is? It's almost time for AMC Fright.
It's almost time for some AMC movies. And every year I fight during September whether I'm going to wait till October. I got to add some new movies to the rotation. What we're talking about, folks, is watching really in the horror flicks around Halloween. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we go through all of the old school flicks, all of the early Friday the 13th, Halloween's, Nightmare on Elm Streets. Even stuff like
I watch Scream.
Scream.
And all the Stephen King.
All the Stephen King stuff. Yeah. So
I'm not too much watching the Child's Play. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be getting off. We'll talk about this next time.
Oh, that's right. I'm not, that's a good point though, really quick. I don't really watch the Child's Play too much either.
Yeah, when that one comes, when that's in that the week that's in the rotation or whatever, I don't.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of on the Chucky thing. I don't know.
When I was young, when it first came out, yeah, but now it's not a rerun. I need to.
You know what it is I hate the little boy in the movie, and I'm not Chucky, but the actual
the actor,
the regular human boy.
The kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Who had? Yeah.
I can't stand watching him. So.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, on behalf of Kristen Petit, myself, Emilio Bucks, we thank everybody for tuning in to this episode of Plunk. We will be back in 2 weeks to see where we are wrapping up the season and go from there. And so we just say, go Sox, go Cubs, go Bulls, go Bears, go Blackhawks. Go Sky, who won today.
Yes, they did.
We should be talking more about the WNBA because they're in the playoffs and winning games. They are.
They're our winner in this town.
They really are, and we have neglected talking about them enough.
Yeah, I mean, and they're good, and they're exciting.
For more attention on the WNBA, check out our sister show.
She said what she said.
She said what she said.
With Sherry Green.
There we go. The Blitz, yes,
the Blitz. So we have some some great girls action. And I'm speaking to all the women, we have to support the WNBA. We're always looking for the men to support. We have to support. There's so many of us. They would be successful if more of us supported.
Very true. Very true. That's a good call. Good call on. And on that note, I bid thee farewell.
Bye.
Good night, folks.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.